Episode of No Shade, No Shame. So, as promised in the last video that we posted, we wanted to look at the adult sex industry. And so, there's tons of toys out there on the market. And during our research, what we found is that most of the items that are being sold online and in stores are being led by women. So the whole culture and everything has changed from, past history. It was very heavily male dominant. And so you had guys owning the stores, and the leader in the market for purchasing and buying and owning and all of that. And kind of coasting their girlfriends into getting into the groove of it. Well, now there's a flip that's happened. So you have women leading it now. So even Candy Burrs from the Housewives of Atlanta, she's like one of the major leaders in selling sex toys. So she has everything from little lipstick tubes that are vibrators that you can just stick in your purse and kind of be very incognito. So if you're traveling alone, business, you can have a little pleasure, take out the lipstick tube and get busy. And so we just kind of wanted to open up everything and kind of talk and kind of give you our perspective on how the industry has changed. I mean, it's $1 billion business. So you might want to look into it, especially with COVID going on. Online sales could be popping for you.
Yes.
And as with anything, I think it's probably going to have to deal with marketing.
Right.
And so that's what we're going to jump into today.
So ladies, it's not taboo anymore.
No, not at all.
Sex toy.
Yes, it is. So you going to start out with the first question?
I don't have them written
Oh, that's okay. Go ahead.
down. I don't have them written down.
Oh, that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
Do we need to write them
I have
down?
my questions. but
Okay,
I
so
don't
I got them
have answers,
on here.
But I don't have the questions.
That is okay. I got you,
So-
boo. Hold on. See, isn't this nice? This just show you the true how we give you our gift of gab.
No
So
edits.
no edits or anything like that. So the first question, when it comes to toys and everything, if your partner wanted to introduce sex toys, would you be open to it? So how do you feel if you have, in your previous, relationships or current relationships and you've never experimented with toys and all of a sudden you had a husband or partner who wanted to dive into that pool? How would you feel? How would you feel if they came and said, "Hey, babe, I want to try some toys"? So Yolanda, how would you feel about that?
Yes, and absolutely. And it's more or less, I got started early in my mid-20s after the separation of my husband when it was just me and my daughter. And my main thing as to why I got into sex toys is because I did not want to have multiple partners.
Yeah.
I didn't want the drama that came with it. I didn't want the uncertainty.
Yeah.
I didn't want the all the bad things that came along with having multiple and random partners.
But you still needed that itch scratch.
Exactly. But at the same time, being human,
Yeah.
I still needed to fulfill some desires.
Yeah.
So I grabbed a couple of friends.
I'm one of them.
And we went off to the sex toy store,
Yeah.
and I tried a couple of different things and found what I liked, what I needed to, wanted to do and wanted to fulfill and focus on, and it has never let me down. So, when I need it, it's there, and so forth.
Yeah. So what if you wanted to introduce it to your partner? So if you were dating, say back then, and you wanted to bring it out, did that subject ever come up? Did you have any issues with that? What happened?
Well, as I stated before, because I was single, I didn't have a lot of partners or anything like that. So to me, that was more intimate to me. So I didn't introduce it to
Okay.
anyone back then
And
in my dating days. But now that I'm married,
Yes. Answer the
we
question.
actually, and I'm gonna be transparent
Yeah.
and I'm gonna be honest. Actually, I still do have a toy, which I do utilize from time to time because, as I stated before, there may be times where your partner is really tired and wiped out, but you
Giving you
still
a pass
have
with this
needs
toy.
that you want fulfilled. So, we just go in for feelings.
Okay, so you've never used a toy in the context of a relationship. That's what you're saying.
No.
With your partner.
No, I
Okay.
have not.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
it's not for the fact, because I think that he is very open to do so.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that the sex is actually really good right now
Mm-hmm.
that I don't feel the need to do so.
See, I'm totally different. So I've used it in the course of being in a relationship
Right.
because I think it adds more spice.
Exactly.
You know, so and it's not that the sex is not good. The sex with my partner is actually fabulous, but but it's just, you know, you kind of want to like change things up and shake it up a little bit and make it a little bit more interesting.
Right.
And so I will say, hey, yeah, babe, let's try this, let's try that. And I've always been open to it, you know. So I've had, you know, the experience with my partner. And so, I don't know, I'm different from you because I like having it in the context of a relationship just to spice things up. Just me kind of pleasuring myself doesn't really do it for me.
Really?
I don't. I mean, I have to be really, really horny in order for it to work with me. And I mean, I've had it to where, like, when I was traveling for work or something, like you said, I would have it in my bag or whatever. And if I was going to be in a relationship, and so then I would use it, and I could definitely get there because no one else was getting me there.
Right.
So,
Right.
but you know, but when I'm in a relationship, I do think it's so much fun, you know, just to. I don't know, it may just be kind of like the freak side or whatever. I like to be watched, you know, or have my partner let me watch, you know, but just by myself on my own, it really doesn't do a lot for me unless I'm like extremely, you know, horny or something like that. And it doesn't take much at that point with anybody, you know. So, because you're horny.
Right.
But yeah, I like enjoying it and having that interaction with my partner. And so I would say to you ladies out there, if you want to try it and you haven't introduced that to your partner, just kind of, you know, throw the question out there, you know, hey babe, what do you think about us using toys? And kind of have a plan when you broach the question, you know, kind of know if you want to use like a little rabbit or if you want to use a little lipstick or whatever.
Do your research.
Do your research, you know.
But first, know what you like.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, know what you like, know
Exactly.
what you want, and then see if they're open to trying it with you.
Exactly.
You know, to me, it can't hurt. You know, as long as you're both two consenting adults and you're in
Right.
agreement with it, then
Right.
hey, go for it. So
Right.
yeah.
And I think another thing with me is in my younger days, it took me a little while to really get into sex. I'm sure a lot of us experienced our first sex or intimacy with someone for the first time, and mine was horrific. So I wanted to know after that, what was the hype? You know, why
this
did
is always cracked up to
everyone
be.
want to do it, and it was so awful? So then, me being me, I had to go and do my research. So in doing so, I've learned a lot of things that in order to pleasure myself and to get myself aroused.
You learned your body.
Exactly.
You know, learn what turns you on.
I explored my
your spots
body.
and all of that.
I
so.
tried different things as to what to get. I found my spot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all that good stuff. I'm like, spot? What's a spot? I don't really found my spot.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I got into it, you know, because I was curious at a young age, and my first experience was really
And
bad.
don't be afraid to venture out and go into the stores. You know,
Exactly.
me and my girlfriends, like
Exactly.
Yolanda and I, my other girlfriends, we will go on a run in a heartbeat. You know.
Mine's broke.
Let's all go. It's like we're going in 6 deep, going into the sex toy store. And we do get a lot of like looks or whatever. And we're like, what you looking at? You're in here too.
Exactly.
So don't get embarrassed if someone's looking at you. They're in the store too.
Right,
You know.
exactly.
So yeah, we're like, yeah, we came to shop. You know, and so but ask all the questions you want. Explore.
Yes.
You know, and if you find out that that's not your cup of tea, no problem. It's not your cup of tea. So, and that's that. So let's see what our next question is. So the next question, I can get this off my
You might need to write them down.
I know.
And just kind of have them here.
Uh-huh. I like this kind of like impromptu thing.
Yeah.
Okay, it says, so do you think it's appropriate for the man or the woman to bring up the subject, or does it matter? You know, so if you're in a relationship, you know, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, 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 girlfriend, girlfriend, you know, who should be bringing up that if you want to experience something, you know, with a toy or like that? Do you think because it's been such a heavily male-dominated industry that you don't want to broach the conversation because the male partner, or the more dominant one hasn't brought the subject up? And my take on that is it doesn't matter who. I don't think
Right.
that it matters, because if you have something that you want to experience sexual, you know, with your partner, then
Right.
I think everything is fair game, and it doesn't matter if it's the male or the female who will bring up the
Right,
subject. That's
exactly.
all a part of communication. So if it's something that you like, especially if you're in a new relationship and this new person you have not experienced the things that you like that you've experienced in previous relationships, bring it up. Say, hey, you know, I like to be tickled with a feather or whatever, or
Right.
I like for you to wear, you know, a cock ring or whatever. You know, ask them, how do you feel about that? You know, and if they're like, well, are you open to it? Because it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea,
Right.
but at least it's out there and they kind of know what you like, and you might be surprised at the answer that you get back.
Exactly.
More people are into it than you would think, you know, but
Right.
it's kind of like a little back end secret kind of
Yes.
closet thing, because that's not necessarily something that you just
Exactly.
be wanting to share with everybody. You kind of have to get to that comfort
Right,
level,
exactly.
and then you explore. So the more comfortable you get with the person, the more open you're going to be sexually with that person. So, but definitely, I don't think there's a gender that needs to bring it
Right,
up. I think
right.
it's fair game. If you're in a relationship and you're loving each other, you're two consenting adults. Again, two consenting adults. Bring it up.
Yes, I agree. And what I actually wrote down was that I don't think it matters, but what does matter is that you're both totally open and honest with each other about it. If you're involved in a relationship and you think it's at the level that you know that you guys are monogamous, I think that's a good time
Definitely.
to pose the question, you know, because it's new. And if you feel you're going to be with this person for a while and you enjoy sex toys, then I think you should start that conversation with them early to see, you know, whether or not they are, and if that's a deal breaker or not with you or whatever, you know. So just be open and honest with each other, and it doesn't matter who starts the conversation. So if you
Exactly.
are, let them know. If you're not, definitely
And
let
I
them
don't think
know.
it's like a deal breaker. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's a deal breaker in a relationship. It's just that you'll have to play alone.
Yes.
You won't
But
be playing.
sometimes in some
Sometimes-
relationships,
yeah.
it is a deal breaker.
Yeah, sometimes it could be. For
Yeah.
me, it wouldn't be a deal
Yeah.
breaker. Like if I wasn't into, you know, experimenting with the sex toys and my boyfriend was, you know, I'm not gonna break up with him because
And
that's
to
what he
be
likes.
honest,
You
I'm
know,
the type, I'll try
Yeah.
anything once, because I never just say I don't like
You don't know
something.
you
I don't
don't like it
ever
if you
want
don't
to
try it.
ever be accused of saying I don't like something, but I've never tried it.
Yeah.
You know, so I at least
Good
want
point.
to try it once. If I like it, hey, that's a new adventure.
Yeah.
If I don't, then I can honestly say, hey,
no,
I don't like this
it because of
because.
this.
Exactly.
And then that may be what you need to discuss. Why did not like that? Maybe I need a
Exactly.
different
Your
size,
perception, or you may have had a bad experience
or something. You know, and
Exactly.
then you know he can kind of work through it that way. So
There you go.
there you go. All right.
Your phone is retarded.
I know, girl. I know it's not recognizing my own fingerprint. So I need to get away from that. Okay, so how do you decide on what toys to experiment with or to use, you know? And I think we just kind of covered that
Yeah,
within the last
exactly.
question that we had. You know, you have to go to the store, explore, you know, do your looking around and all of that kind of stuff, and kind of think, what do I like sexually and what's in the store that kind of feeds into what I like sexually.
Right,
You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
And that can kind of narrow your focus on what you kind of maybe want to experience with, you know? So, you know, like I said, you like to be tickled or whatever, or if it's something oral or you want your partner to have extra extended time, with his
Right.
erection, you kind of look for things that kind of play into what you guys discuss and what your ultimate goal is. Pleasure, a long erection, to make it last for, as long as it, can possibly last. But you kind of have that discussion up front, and you kind of narrow your focus when you go to the store and kind of look at things like that, So it could be visual things, it could
Right.
be, some porn,
Right.
or it could be, just a little bit stockings or high heel shoes, a
Right.
certain lingerie, it could be all of that stuff, So you see all of that. So
Yeah.
I think we kind of answered that. Do you have
Yeah.
anything you want to
Just
elaborate
to
on it?
elaborate, what I found that we actually do that could be considered, sex toys is that we started off with the oils,
Oh yeah,
give them a massage, that's part of it. You can go and get
foreplay.
the flavored oil and massage them and focus on the man right there.
Because what is
That's
our motto?
part
If
of
it comes up,
exactly, it must come down. That's my responsibility.
yeah.
But yeah, and like Jen said, porn works very well. I mean, to get you guys aroused at the same time, and don't start with the hardcore, but maybe something with a plot or a cute little scene that leads up to it, because like most women are romantics, you don't want to just go into it.
Yeah.
You want it to
Smooth
lead
just a
into
little bit,
it,
a
and then
caress into
it
the
can get
care.
as hot and steamy as you like.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay, and then the last question. Do you think toys can make the other party feel like they're not enough or they're not given enough during sex? Because some people could say, well, why do you need
only
that?
if you're not
if I'm doing
honest
everything.
and open. Only. When you're dealing with sex toys, I think that a lot of men or some men can be intimidated and think that they're not enough. Is it because you focus more on the toy than on them? So you may have to constantly reassure them that it's all about them. Oh, baby, I like the way you do this. Oh, baby, you're
Or
doing
it's
that
about
just
us.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that it's not just about you and getting yours, but make him feel a part of the desire that
Of the
he's
process.
giving you. Exactly.
It's got to be a part of the process.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I definitely agree with that. And I can see how some parties, especially if they're not receptive to it anyway,
Exactly.
why do you
Yes.
need that? Or why do
Right.
you want
Am I
that?
not
And to
enough?
me, that's where you have to have that conversation and communicate it and say, it's not about that you're not enough. I think the sex with you is great. I just feel like I want a little bit of spice. I want to kind of change it
Let's
up.
change it up.
Yeah, and some people change it up in different ways. Some people may, want you to put on like a nurse's costume or
Right.
something,
Do role
or maybe I want you to
plays.
be a cheerleader,
Yeah.
So am I going to take it that you're hot after cheerleaders? No, it's all a part of the visual and the foreplay and just kind of spicing it up.
Right.
And so just kind of have that conversation to reassure them that it's not about you not being enough. It's about us and what I kind of
Right,
want us to
right.
bring to the relationship and just have a little fun with it. Can you keep an open mind for me? And let's just try it one time. And if you don't like it, or if you feel
At
a
least
certain
you
type
can
of
say
way,
you tried
at least
it.
you can say you tried it, and then, I'll love you and respect you for not wanting to do it
Right,
again.
right.
And so, but just have that conversation. But yeah, some people probably could feel like, why? Just don't be
And
closed mind about it and just
guys,
kind of talk about it.
To be honest, and let's just be honest. If you've been with someone for 12, 15 years and you're only doing the traditional way, that gets old. It gets old, okay? So you're gonna want to bring some spice in there somewhere,
Yeah.
change it up some kind of way. And
I
toys
think we all like a little
come
spice.
into play with
Yeah.
that. Trying different position with Kama Sutra, get the book, read it, and
Yeah.
you don't necessarily have to tell him that you're gonna do a different position. Just kind of put your leg over this way one time and say, "Ooh,
Yeah.
I like that."
Yeah. And I actually
lead
have-
them into it.
Yeah, and just
You
kind
know?
of keep educating yourself
Exactly.
throughout the sexual discovery, you know, if that's what you want to call it.
Exploration.
Just kind of
Yeah.
explore. Like I have a book that has like 365 positions, you know, so that's one position
I have
for
that one too.
every day of the year, you know,
I have
if you're
that
having
one.
sex every day, and I don't think, you know, the majority of us are not.
Right,
So, but I
right.
say that to say there's a lot of information in the book, and if you want to spice it up and kind of do things and, you know, get bent over the couch or the ottoman, or, you know, that's a part of spicing it up as
Yes,
well. And so
exactly.
think of it in those terms. It's just all a part of the spice. It has
Right.
nothing to do with you're not being able to satisfy me or anything like that. It's just, you know, it's just a little extra fun, you
Right.
know, especially if your sex is good anyway. What can it
Exactly.
hurt? So just
Exactly.
enjoy it. Don't overthink it, and just, you know, just love on each other and do it.
Yes.
So.
And another thing too that I want to focus on is women. Most women, I've actually talked to a few women who have stated that they've been married for years. I mean 12, 15, 20 years and never experienced an orgasm. That to
That
me
is, it's a lot.
That's ludicrous. Okay? So my thing is it's a job. And it's just something you do. And that's where you get the comments from men where they say you just lay there like a rug. Because it's
You
not
got somebody else over there
fulfilling
popping
to
it.
you. Exactly. Because believe me, he's getting his.
Yeah.
So why would you not want to get yours? When I say an orgasm is a beautiful thing,
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing.
if you never had one, I would do everything I could to find out what one felt like.
Yeah. Or what I
Okay?
need to do to get it.
Exactly.
You know? And
Exactly.
don't get sidetracked. You know, like you said, we all know that the man is going to get his.
Right.
So, and I think they love seeing their partner
Get
get
theirs.
theirs. And
Exactly.
so
Don't
that's a turn
fake
on
it.
as well.